Gonna fall off here. How is everyone? Nice to have you here. I know this is very last minute, but I ended up coming up the chairlift at Lake Louise, and I haven't been up here for ages, so I just wait a couple of minutes to see if anyone's here. Just let me know if you're here. Give us the like or the thumbs up. Sorry, the family wandering down behind me here. So let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me okay, because it's one of these funny things where it's easier to give a tour up the side of the mountain than down in the valley this time of year. The young family coming down behind me. So anyway, hi there. We are at the Lake Louise Ski Resort. I believe I'm on time. So I'm not seeing any messages from anyone, but I'm just gonna turn this around and give it a go and see if anybody is here. But look at that view. So out in the distance is the Victoria Glacier, and that is up above world famous Lake Louise, of course. I was able to put the phone in landscape, so it is perfect. And then Mount Temple. So many people have skied with me over the years here on virtual tours. But right now, I'm just not seeing any messages or any likes. If you don't mind, hopefully everyone is seeing me just fine. If not, you'll be able to watch the replay. But you look out in the distance and there is Temple Mountain. It's the highest peak in the Lake Louise area. Right now I'm at 2,100 meters above sea level here, which is about 7,000 feet. So it's a long ways up. Now, hey, hi Sarah, nice to, there I got a hello from someone. It might be a bit delayed, but I really wanted. So I'm with a lovely family from Washington State in the United States. It was quite a last minute tour because they couldn't get to Lake Louise yesterday because we had a real storm. And so I said, well, normally my Banff Yoho, that was a go for making all the noise. There's one right down there. Hello. But I said, well, yeah, I can get you to Lake Louise, but we have to leave at 6:30 in the morning, which is always shocking for people. But we got one of, the last 10 parking spots. So this is all fireweed up the side of the valley. Anyway, they're all having lunch in the Whitehorn Bistro, and that's why I fixed this up. Now, this fireweed is from the bottom up. Now, of course, I would never pick the full flower, but you see that is all edible. And it's yummy to have. I like it. It's a bit of a bitter taste. I don't really like bitter food too much, but it's interesting. All the flowers down in the valley have already come and gone, but up here at 2,100 meters, you certainly see them a lot better. Now I'm going to get walking just because there's lots of people out here, and I'm up above the bear line. Now I do have bear spray in the car. I just didn't think to bring it. Now those of you who have done live virtual skiing tours with me have come down this path with me so many times. In fact, once in a while I jump off this edge. Now the reason that's closed is they've marked all that area off for bears. And so up here, we've gone through a very distinct electric gate, and you're meant to have bear spray and walk in groups of 4. So I'm on my own and I don't have my bear spray, but there's so many people out here. It's not really a big problem at the moment, but I did want to share this view with all of you. Now you can see glacial ice up there, but the men's downhill is of course when we have the World Cup downhill here, and it is pretty fantastic. I'm just going to turn the screen around for a second and give everyone the kind of, there's my view now. The famous Lake Louise itself is way out in the distance there. And that is just spectacular to see. And then up the hill, up this way, is where you get up. So I've taken the one chair up, but they're building a new one, which is super interesting. It's going to be a heated covered chair. There's one over at Sunshine Village. It's going to be the first one here. So normally it's, one chair, the one that they run in the summer. You'll see it up here. So the summertime tourist chair. Then they run the top of the world, which is actually running in front of me right now, but that'll be for some kind of work they're doing at the top. And that's because they're putting in a new high-speed, I think 6-seater heated chair all the way up, not quite to the summit, because there's the third chair at the top of Whitehorn Mountain. So I am, of course, very close, distinctly close to the border with British Columbia. In fact, we crossed over into British Columbia today. So I was up at Lake Louise just long enough for everyone to see the lake in all its glory and then get away before the crowds were a little unbearable. And everyone's welcome, but it's just hard to manage that many people. what I was really hoping to show them were the lynx. Actually, I like to come up on this chair specifically for the bears, but I think one of the guys down below said with all the construction going on, they've just not seen as many bears. Now, you know, I don't know if it's their first year, whether they know that or not really, but the flower's lovely. So, hi there. Hey, Michelle, nice to see you here. So Michelle is our friend who's Swiss American and knows all about skiing. Well, this is what a run looks like in the summer. You know, in the summertime, or in the wintertime, it takes me about 30 seconds to come down this bend. And now, of course, I'm walking down. I've got this whole family in front of me, so I'll just have to let them get by. But as I do, I'll show you the juniper berries down through here. And then these lovely trees right here are the white bark pine. And I was finally able, in fact, I think, oh yeah, I put in our subscriber group, I put a picture in this morning of the Clark's Nutcracker. Hey, can you just tell me if you're hearing me just fine, everyone? Hopefully you are. I didn't put my headphones in. And I just didn't really, but mostly because I'm in bear country. Oh, absolutely. Great question. I was just asked if this is where I ski for real. Absolutely. So many times I've come down right around this bend because when I do, oh, great. Thank you. I'm glad. When I come around the bend and I show you the viewpoint, it's so often I come down this one. And this is, I think this is considered a blue run, so intermediate run. Now, some of these pitches down here, I have come down those front ones with all of you. What I've never done is gone down the back of the mountain because there's no reception down there whatsoever. But look at the rocky outcrops up there. See, now that area gets so covered in snow in a good winter that you can actually ski it this year. By the way, this little trail down through here is called the Kicking Horse Trail, and that's because you get the view down to Kicking Horse Pass, which is such a nice drive. I was down in the town of Field today. I didn't have time to, well, a few things that are going on actually, being very serious for a minute. Oh, here, I'll come back to that one second. So here's people coming up on the sightseeing chairlifts or gondolas. This is why I think this is the best value, better value than the one in Banff. Because the one in Banff, they time you up and time you down. This one, you have the choice to try a chair or a gondola. And of course, if you haven't had the experience of having your legs hanging out, it is a big deal. There's the Bow Valley in all its glory. And you're looking all the way down to Mount Assiniboine and down towards Banff. We're only 54 kilometers from here, the town of Banff. So anyway, the big news in Canada today is that the trains, both Canadian National and Canadian Pacific, which is officially Canadian Pacific in Kansas City, have gone on strike. Now, the trains in this country, if you spent time with me or my fellow guides, you've learned that trains are incredibly important. Trains move 85% of the freight in this country. They represent an economy of about $380 billion. And they've both, for the first time ever, gone on strike. And that was because the contract for one of them, I don't know which one, was pushed off by a year. So yeah, it should be all over the news. Thanks for mentioning that. That is huge. I mean, you're talking about basically closing down the Canadian economy, which is one of the largest economies in the world, even though the population is quite small. But remember, one of the biggest resource economies in the world. So that is big news. So I was down in a little town of Field, and there was a big petroleum train parked there. The lovely moss. Now, they get a lot of water here in the winter. If you've skied with me here, I usually go over a jump right about here. But you still have the lovely wildflowers, all of them. Those little white ones, small animals, small mammals use that as bedding. So, I'm probably pro-union, I would say. I'm definitely not anti. But this is such a huge effect on the economy that there needs to be, all hands on deck. This is something that really does have global implications and has massive implications right now for the people of the prairies because we're in harvest. And remember, Canada's pretty much, is the biggest wheat producer in the world. So Kicking Horse Trail is open. The Pika Trail is closed. And you, mesdames et messieurs, are in bear country. Baie des Ours. So that is your bear sign. Now this is the fun one. The first time I saw this, I thought to myself, that's shocking. Oh, there's one other thing I just want to point out, and it's just a neat thing. There's some nice young ladies in dresses in the distance out there, and they have bonnets on. They are from the Hutterite communities of the prairies. Pacifist people, really interesting people. I really think, sorry everyone, I really think the electric fence affected that. So please use caution down here. So I think I'm reconnected now. You know, it's amazing how it actually works better in the winter. Hopefully everyone can hear me okay. So there we go. Yeah, I honestly think the electric fence actually affected that. So I will ski. So we're talking about white bark pine. This is so good. And what's the problem? Well, the pine beetle. See? 7 wonders. West slope cutthroat trout. Beautiful things to see. Nope, look at that. It's something to do with all the power around me, everyone. I'm sorry. I mean, I've done this so many times in the summer with no problem, or in the winter, I should say. Yeah, and now in the summer, it's cutting out. Now, there's also record-breaking numbers of people down in the valley, so could be that. Oh, hi, Tina. We took the chairlift up. Yep, I have a family from Washington State with me. Nice to see you here. And so I was down in Yoho Park with them, and then I gave them 2 choices. Now, of course, they had to pay for the gondola, or the chairlift. But I said either that or go up to Peto Lake, and they thought, well, they'll have this experience because I'll get you a better view of it. But out there in the distance, there is the famous lake right out there right now. So there is the Cirque Valley and the Victoria Glacier, and that is spectacular. Spectacular Lake Louise out there. The jewel of the Canadian Rockies. People love it, but it is so busy these years, and people are spending $2,000 a night to stay in a hotel that has construction going on outside. There's the wolverine. I have still never seen a wolverine in the wild. I would love to. I see pine martens regularly, and then of course this is grizzly country, and this really is, the higher you get up around the tree line, you start to get into grizzly country. So it is gorgeous, gorgeous lake. Yeah, it's just beautiful. And we've had some beautiful weather. I sound a little raspy, but I've just been guiding a lot lately. Finn, my son, and I we each have a full bus tomorrow in the morning from the Banff Springs Hotel, 48 people on each bus. And then after that, I've got an afternoon hike. And then Saturday, well, planning for Finn's university. He's going to head up to Edmonton. And now I've shown you this platform before. It's just a fantastic thing to see. But now I'm not going to go terribly long. The views are fantastic. So yeah, lovely mix of people. It always makes me proud, our diversity around here. So there you go. Now I've shown this plaque in the summertime, but there's mighty Mount Burgess down there. So on the right-hand side of your screen here, you're looking down into Yoho Park, Mount Field, Mount Burgess, and then of course Lake Louise, but a lot less snow than there used to be out there. So that's how much that world has changed. And down in the distance is the village of Lake Louise itself. And there's the Victoria Glacier, and the next valley over is the Valley of the 10 Peaks, and that's where Moraine Lake is. Much harder to get in than it used to be. They have resurfaced the road to the lake, and they've done an excellent job this year doing that. And then they're doing some big interchange at the base. I don't know what their logic is, but they're doing that. But pretty fantastic, and that is the way down to Banff in the distance there. And then there's Larch Mountain up back here. And up in Larch, I ski up there in other times of the year. And that is, but I can never ever do a tour up there for you because there's no reception once I get up the back. But now, if you look way up top, that's where you can see the summit chair. It goes right up to Whitehorn Mountain. So we're nice and high up here for people who come from sea level. If you go for a jog up here, you will feel it. Obviously, it has a genuine effect on people. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to give you, I'm going to go meet the family I'm with now, and I'll head down and maybe have a bite to eat with them, but I have some friends coming for a barbecue tonight. So packing up my kid, although Finn's got some work, and then he's just picking his classes. He's going to the Faculté Saint-Jean up in Edmonton, and so we're going to do that. And then he's going to, and then I'm off to Europe on later Monday, to England Tuesday, and then I just have a day and my group arrive. So so I don't know if I'm gonna squeeze in another. Oh, another thing I haven't shared with anyone, well, with almost anyone, I got a root canal the other day. So I have a follow-up, but it's all feeling great. So it was quite a thing. But let me just give you, first of all, peace and love. In fact, it's nice to give you the view back here with Lake Louise up behind me. So, isn't that lovely? All right. Oh, you're welcome, Sarah. It just seemed like an easy way to squeeze one in. Again, when I do these day trips, you know, they're reasonably. Oh, the chairlift, Tina, goodness me, I think it's $62 now. Canadian, which sounds like a lot of money, and it's gone up. It's 77 with lunch, which is a different package, but that's still much cheaper than the Banff one and less crowded. So if the day's nice, and you can just walk up and get a ticket, you don't need a reservation. So that's a great question. Anyway, everyone, thank you for your support. I hope everyone is in our subscriber group. It's only a couple of dollars a month. I do, you know, receive donations from people now and then, which is always much appreciated. But I just wanted to get a nice little quick video out here, and I hope to see you soon. I'm pretty busy the next few months, but I'll be doing tours from England, Scotland, Vancouver, Cape Cod, Japan, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, so all of that. All right, keep in touch. A few other tours. I've got 4 or 5 spaces left for Costa Rica and Nicaragua, and I'm just getting going. Just a couple more people have inquired about Oaxaca in January, so that is 100% happening because I go every year. So just lots to get excited about. So there's the viewing platform. Beautiful flowers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, all the very best and lots of love from up on the ski hill. I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye.